What up, what up? My name is Corbin, and I'm joined here with my brother Brennan, and today we're going to review an album. I have to say that Post Malone is one of my favorite artists to look out for, so I thought it was only right to check out and review his fourth studio album, 12 Carat Toothache. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go track by track. I'm going to say how I felt about it, and then Brennan's going to say how he felt about it, and then we're gonna give each song a score. And how this rating system works is every song has a potential to get a 1, a 0.75, a 0.50, a 0.25, and a 0. And then at the end, we'll add up all the scores that we give each individual song, and then we'll divide that by the total amount of tracks in the track list, and that'll give us an overall rating for the album.
That's right. So we're doing 1, 0.75, 0.50, 0.25, and a 0 if you absolutely hated it. Which luckily for me, Corb, I don't know about you, but I have no zeros on this list.
Yeah, I have no zeros. And kind of how to kind of judge how or like what I would give something. Like I'd give a 1, like 100%. That song is a great song. I'd give a 0.75 if it's a good song, but it's not perfect. I just I find minor flaws in it, or there's something in there I didn't like. I give a 0.50 if it's a good song, but I find more issues with it than the previous score. Most likely wouldn't return to this song much. 0.25% if it's not great but has some redeeming qualities. But I could honestly take or leave the song, and then the 0% is just not for me. So that's typically how I rate things.
Okay, so we got the 12 Carat Toothache is the name of the album. The album has 14 tracks on it. I believe they're all songs except for the last song, which I believe, in my opinion, felt like it was just kind of thrown on. Kind of felt like it could have been like an intro or an outro to a certain song. In my opinion.
Yeah, there's no like skips or there's no skits. There's no
interludes, no intros, no outros.
Just a collective of songs.
It's got a runtime of 43 minutes and 18 seconds. It's a very short album, as you know. I kind of have a problem with super short songs, so I feel like that's where a lot of my ratings lie. Just kind of expected a little bit more with some songs, and then it would just kind of end. It was like, oh, well, I want more. Give me more.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
This album was released on June 3rd, 2022.
All right, so the first song, Reputation, I thought was a very strong opener, and it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. The track starts with this subtle filter washed piano, and it like leisurely builds from there. Not too much though, and I think it was intentional for the lyrics to stand out more. Malone's raspy vibrato really sticks with me. It almost sounds painful in the song, like painful and angry, which gives so much more characteristics to the words. And the song to me represents kind of like a depressed mental state, like an outcome of his immense fame and pressure to continuously succeed. And being a celebrity and entertainer, it's hard to focus on your mental health with all that's going on. The line, "You're a superstar, entertain us," to me screams that he's not happy with what he's doing. Entertainment is more of a job now. And kind of the fun activity it once was is no longer, or at least in some aspects. And I just kind of love how vulnerable he is. The bridge near the end carries a lot of progress. He's recognizing a lot that's wrong with him, a lot of issues he's carried, and the line where he stops himself after saying, "I was born to, it's such a shame," like to me was kind of haunting. Like he kind of ran out of reasons during that last little bit there. My only gripes about the song is that the diction gets a little lost in areas, kind of becomes a little hard to hear what he's saying. But yeah, I would give this one the score that I would give this one is definitely a 1. Like I said, very strong opener, one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say too. I also was a big fan of this one. I think it was a great intro to start the entire album off with. I felt like in post voice, I don't know if it's like echo or reverb or what you would call it, but I feel like the echo in post voice is just like fantastic. It just is kind of like haunting when it goes along with the piano in the background. When he starts, I had the same, basically the same exact thing that you had about the "I Was Born" verse. I think that fit perfectly. It was sounded really powerful. Um, uh, it felt like to me when I heard this, it sounded like he was like killing his old self by drowning himself in alcohol and smoking like cigarettes and stuff like that. Just like the vices to just escape, and like he's killing his old self with his entertainer self. Is how I looked at it basically. The album, I feel like overall, uh, it kind of like sets the tone for the rest of it. Like it's a good intro. Like the way that Reputation comes across, the rest of the album, I feel like just kind of like follows suit perfectly right behind it. I don't think like it has like any like like it's very not like poppy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very down to earth, I would say. Like well grounded. Overall, it's a good start to the album. It's a good introduction. I give it a 1.
Yeah, I think Post he does a great job starting off his albums. Like if you look back at Hollywood's Bleeding, that the intro to that album was very strong. So I guess I wasn't too surprised when I heard this song, and just was kind of blown away. Just not from the production aspect, but more so the
Mm-hmm.
lyrical aspect. It was it was a very very strong opener, and like you said, set the tone for the rest of the album very very
Yeah,
beautifully.
it's not a very pop like song like album. It's not very pop album. Like it's very grounded. I feel like it takes itself very seriously in my opinion.
All right, then we're on to song number 2, which is "Cooped Up" featuring Roddy Ricch. And this is I feel like this is the quintessential bumpy hip hop that you kind of expect from Post. There's this like piano in the mix, and it's a little too laid back in the production for me. It like kind of becomes almost drowned out as soon as the 808s start hitting really hard. It like I try to listen for it during the chorus, and I lose it. Um, but this is the type of song that it'll definitely get your head bumping when you're listening. It's just very catchy. Post's verse is dope. I actually liked it a lot. He switches flows and cadences to keep it interesting, and in following along is fun. However, my major gripe with the song is a is a rather weak verse from Roddy Ricch. I was expecting more because I actually do like Roddy. He's got some songs that I have saved. But this verse was pretty boring, pretty basic. Started off horribly, in my opinion. But the song kind of redeems itself after that with a very very nice bridge. This the bridge is short, but I think Post really kills it. And for me, the score on this one I would give a 0.75.
I kind of agree exactly with you on the Roddy Rich spectrum of this song. Uh, to me, it did not go as hard as Reputation. Not even close. I don't care for Rich in this song. To be honest with you, I feel like his part could have been left out, and I feel like it would have been just fine. But it was also it felt really short. Like it was a 3 minute long song, but like to me, I felt like I just started listening to it, and then I checked it to see what the name was, and I looked down, and it felt like it was already over. So I also disagree. I don't feel like there was like much variety from Posty at all in this song. I feel like it was kind of a little repetitive, but I will say it was very catchy. Uh, but with that being said, that's pretty much my main takeaway from it was that I personally didn't care for this song. Was kind of a letdown to follow Reputation because I really, really liked Reputation. But Cooped Up, I don't think it's a song for me. I gave this one a 0.5.
Yeah, and you notice at the end of the Reputation, it kind of bleeds over into Cooped Up. So it was kind of like it was supposed to be the second song. But to me, like, although the instrumentals kind of match, the words really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kind of Cooped Up was kind of like the radio hit. You know what I'm saying? And following Reputation, which is such a personal track, I do agree that this was kind of an odd placement for this song when when you look at the rest of the album.
Oh, for sure. I'm curious to see what your take on is the next song is, though.
All right, so song number 3, Lemon Tree. This song, I thought it was interesting in a good way though. The gentle strum of the acoustic guitar and the female vocals that are like faintly sampled in the instrumental. It sounds pretty good to me, and I have to say the vocals and the effects are the standout for the song. I believe the song details kind of like a depressive mind state again. He's understanding that everyone's plight is different. Brennan, you know the old saying, like, dealing with the cards that I'm dealt.
Oh, I don't know the exact saying, but I understand what you're saying. Like, you just got to deal with the hands that you were dealt with.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And I thought it was interesting because it's like following the same understanding of struggle. Is he uses the phrase comparing apples to oranges here, which shows that two fruits, although have similarities in the sweetness factor, cannot be compared. And even so, he adds that he's dealing with a much more sourness in life, kind of showing how unfair it really all is. And that saying that life is pretty sweet, I'm told, but I guess I'm shit out of luck because I'm growing a lemon tree. I do think, that I do think it's kind of a creative writing for sure on the chorus. And I do love the words in the song and how creatively written everything really is. And I hear the I hear the memes of how he's saying the word better, the better. but honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much.
No.
I mean, I definitely notice it now more, after many listens, but I still don't really think it bothers me that much. I really enjoy the song. I'd give it a 1.
A 1? Okay. How many times did you listen to the album?
I've listened to it about 6 times now.
6 times? I listened to it, I want to say 3.5. I would say a half because the last time I was listening to it, I just had it on as background noise, so I wasn't really like listening to it. So you gave Lemon Tree a 1?
Yep.
Yeah, I basically agreed with everything that you said, especially with the apples and oranges, and how he's just shit out of luck with, like, because he's given a lemon tree, and he's just got to deal with, like, he doesn't know what it's like to have like life be sweet, which I think is kind of funny since I would definitely say my man's has made it, so I would say his life's pretty fucking sweet. I ultimately liked the song though. I thought it was catchy. I really liked I liked the lyrics that he sang, the truth behind them, and I even like the line of like every movie I watch, I'm on the side of the bad guy. I thought that was
yep.
That was fun, and I think the internet had some fun with that too. But yeah, I mean, overall, everything that you said was pretty much everything that I have written down here. So, but I gave it a 0.75 because I'm a stingy mother,
You don't be handing out the ones.
It is very rare
often
for me to hand out a 1.
Yeah, and I think the shortness in the songs are actually benefiting it for me. Like, to give it a 1.
You think if it would have went a little longer, do you think you would have dropped?
Oh yeah, if that song was longer than it was, I think it. Yeah, I don't think that song should have been any longer.
Fair enough.
All right, ready for the next one?
Oh yeah.
All right, Wrapped Around Your Finger.
Real quick,
Song number
I feel like
4.
we're gonna disagree a lot on this one.
All right, so for me, I thought that this song really showcases how a poppy song can be crafted in a right way. Like it's short and it's sweet, but still has some well written aspects. Like I hear the song being called cookie cutter, and I don't really agree with it. It's radio friendly for sure, but it's stronger than most songs you hear on the radio, if that makes sense. It's just my opinion, but there's some issues in the mix, and I'm almost certain I hear it when Post is singing during the chorus. The effects kind of phase out a bit when the drum beat starts to hit, and yeah, it could be a compressor issue too. It's not insanely noticeable, but as an engineer myself, I just have to do some messing around there. The beat is enjoyable. The bridge is catchy. The words are well written, in my opinion. The drastic cutback on the beat during the chorus is really enjoyable to me. It's a little repetitive and very short. It's not a little repetitive, but I dig it, and the score that I would give it is a 0.75.
This was actually my favorite song on the album. I thought it was catchy. I thought it was slow. It had emotion behind it. It was basically like I felt like like somebody had a spell on him, and he just like kept crashing. Like when he says I'm crashing down or coming back down, like it's just kind of like him coming back to reality.
Right.
Like he even says at one point, like he can have like 10 hoes around him at once, but like the second they walk around, like they're wrapped, like literally wrapped around their finger.
Yeah.
So I dug with that a lot. My only gripe with it is I feel like I don't know what they did to his vocals or something, but like I feel like at some points it's just really, really hard to understand him sometimes. Like if you were playing this at a low level, I feel like you would be coming back and being like, "Wait, what did he just say?" Like I played this song for one of my friends, and they had to put it like right up to their ear and listen to it, like to understand, like the entire song. I thought that was a little extra, but overall, I gave that song a 1. It was my favorite song on the entire album. I liked it a lot.
It kind of circles back around to the diction issues I have. The sad fact of the matter is that Post just doesn't finish his words when he's singing sometimes, and I understand that emotion kind of takes over, especially when you're trying to sing and get that raspy vibrato to really shake. Sometimes to be able to do that, you have to sacrifice diction just for placements and words and harmonies and all that. So I hate that it's such an issue all over the album, because I know I've already made mention of it once, but it is pretty constant throughout the album. There's a song that we haven't got to yet, but there is a song down the down the line here that I thought suffered from this majorly.
I feel like I know which one you're talking about.
And it just sucks. I mean, but like I said, sometimes you have to sacrifice to do it, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna blame it on emotion. Just trying to get these words out. I'm gonna blame it on emotion.
Right.
Makes sense to me. All right, so
let's move on to the next song, huh?
Yeah, next song. I don't know what number this song is. I didn't number them.
I also didn't number them, but it's titled "I Like You." Parentheses, a happier song in parentheses, and it's with Doja Cat.
Yep, song number 5.
That's your girl, I know.
I do like me some Doja Cat. All right, now, yeah, I like it. I definitely say that this song is a cookie cutter song. I think it's still very catchy, and it's definitely a song to throw on during a party. Like it's a perfect party song.
Oh yeah.
But I just have to say this. I'll pull your girl like a hammy. Like really? That's a rough bar.
That's a cornball bar, bro.
That's a bad bar.
Corny.
I think the beat is fine. It's very bumpy.
Yeah.
The lyrics are harmless. Besides that hammy bar, that was just bad. I think Doja brought a decent verse for a song. And I think she did so well because the song almost sounds like it was made with her in mind. I will say though,
that's fair.
Her vocals, I don't know what they did with them, but they almost sound a little like nasally, and
okay,
it just sounds a little off. I don't know. That could just be me. But yeah, I think I would have done some tweaking in the EQ on that one, but. I don't know what they were doing. That's just my opinion. It's definitely not a song I'll personally come back to very often. The score I would give this one is a 0.5.
I see we've come to an agreement here because I basically had the same gripes. Basically, to me, I just don't feel like I am the target demographic for this song. Like, I am not the target audience whatsoever. I don't have any complaints with it. I think it's catchy. I think post chorus is the best part of the song. I don't have any complaints with Doja or her part at all. I liked her in it. I think she did a good job. I think she fit the part pretty well. But I do agree. I think her vocals sound a little off. I would say nasally was the right word that you used for it. But personally, this isn't a song for me, which is okay. Like, not every song has to be for everybody. But I also gave I Like You a 0.5.
It's funny. It's like, we were saying how like Cooped Up and the radio friendly songs in here, they almost kind of feel like they don't fit. But I want to give this one a pass simply because he named it a happier song. But
you said a happier song, a little break for you for the album.
All right. Song number 6, I Cannot Be. A sadder song is also in the title, and this one's featuring Gunna.
He said, welcome right back to it, bro. Right back to the sadness.
I welcome the sadness. I want to hear your opinion on this one first.
I bet. Already better than the last one with Doja Cat.
Because we're sad now. Everything's okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I literally wrote down, I said, this one's more my speed. I feel this one a lot more. I feel like this is like Post kind of accepting himself in it. He says, smoke another cigarette, wash it down. Again, that really does play like a big part in this entire album. I feel like just kind of numbing yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like just to cope with the way things are going.
Self-destructive
I think
behaviors.
Yeah, and I think in this album, I feel like Post is like, it's kind of like I don't want to say like he's screaming for help or whatever, because like he seemed really excited, like in all the interviews and stuff. Like it seemed like he was really happy with this project, and he was excited for it to come out and everything. So, but like it does seem like, like he talks about numbing himself a lot throughout this entire album. There's even a song dedicated to it, which is up next. We'll get to that, but it's just it just seems like he's and this one seems like he's satisfied with who they are becoming. I was really surprised with Gunner. I'm not a Gunna fan at all, but I definitely feel like they killed their part on this one. I was very surprised. I like, even if I don't agree with an artist, like I always give him like a chance, because you know how some artists are way better being a featured artist than single artist, and I can't say that he's like a better feature artist than he is a single artist, because I don't listen to him like that. Like I don't like Gunna like that at all. Like I just
Push and P is the only song that I can think of by him.
Yeah, I mean he's just not one of my guys I listen to. So
yeah,
he's not one of my guys. Uh, so I definitely feel like he did a good job with his part. I wish it was a bit longer though. Again, it's kind of like it felt really short, but it feels short with most songs on this album. I really did enjoy the beat on this though, and I feel like it was a good one to blare, like like you said earlier, in your car, just cruising down the highway. I feel like the bass alone is like a good, you know, just just for the bass, just crank it up, turn the bass all the way up. You can drown out the vocals if you want to, if you don't really like the song like that. But like the bass alone is a good cruising song. I gave it a 0.75.
Damn. All right. I like this one more than you did. I think the song is hella catchy. It's another song that I think the engineer killed it with the vocal effects. Everything sounds balanced and appealing to my ears. Really cool keypad effects that kind of bring us into the pre-beat. But once those 808s hit, I'm definitely giving that stank face. And the part that I love the most is the end of Post's verse. The effects and vocal layers kind of smack right into the chorus, and it sounded really great. I love the vocals, the words, and the hook. I'll be honest though, I like you. I thought I was gonna hate that Gunna verse. He's not a very memorable artist in my opinion. He's kind of just like a placeholder, unfortunately, in a lot of these poppy songs. It's not bad. He's just not my taste, I guess.
Well, I guess not recently, huh?
Well, yeah. And I personally think Push and P was a terrible song, but yeah. Anyways, but I actually thought his verse was catchy. It was done well. It was basic as hell, but the cadence switches and the flow changes, I think, really saved it. And my score for that, because I listened to it a lot since it came out, I gave that a 1.
A 1? Okay. I mean, that's fair. I think I might be a little biased just because Gunna's in it. I'm just kidding. Like I said, it's hard for me to give a song a 1.
All right, song 7.
Song 7. All right, well, this is the one that I was talking about, previous song, where it just seems like it just is a reoccurrence in this entire album. The title of the song is Love/Hate Letter to Alcohol.
Nope. Next song is Insane.
Insane. I don't have that, dude.
Yeah, that kind of explains how not very memorable this one was.
Wait, hold up. No, I deadass don't have this on my list. And I went song by song, so I don't know how I would have missed that. Oh wow, holy shit! There's an entire song right.
All right, well, I'll give my.
It's a 3-minute song too. Wow.
I'll give my take on this one. So I will say my initial listening to this song, I would have given it a 0. I did not like it at all.
Apparently, I didn't either.
It was easily my least favorite song, but after listening to it in the car, I kind of take it back because this is the beat kind of saves it because it's pretty catchy. But this is like your typical braggy, just having fun songs, kind of a basic ass beat, basic lyrics. There's an aspect of the drum beat, these like claves sounding things in place of the snare. They're like sounds like wood smacking each other, and they are way too loud in the mix. Like I feel it pierce in my ears when I'm listening to it. The low end seems to mess with the vocal effects a bit in areas, especially during the chorus. But it is a catchy, braggadocious song. It's really nothing more than that, though. But that's okay. My score is a 0.5, which I think I'm being a little generous there.
Okay. So the entire time you were talking about it, I came back to it, and I do remember this song. I don't know how it missed my notes. Like I said, I've heard this album like 3 times now. I do remember this song. Would you give it?
I'd give it a 0.5. I'm being generous though, because a big part of me wants to give it a 0.25, but I can't act like I haven't come back and listened to it a few times in the car.
Yeah, I didn't like the song at all. I gave it a 0. I just felt like it was just forced rhyming. Like the flow to me, the best part about this song was the beat. Like if I could just get the instrumental to this, that'd be sweet. I would like that a lot better. But lyric wise, nah, it just wasn't for me. Just it was like it kind of had like that like little whiny like voice throughout it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It just I don't like that. Like like kind of reminds me of Trippie Redd. I don't like that like kind of tone. So well, and also like I mean, dude, come on, he tried really hard with some of these rhymes.
Take your bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like looking at the lyrics right now and like keep my Glocky tucked like a baby in a manger. What? When your girl around me, she treat you like a stranger. Oh. Like I don't know. To me, nah, big miss, 0.
Some rough bars in that one.
I mean, I do like the beat though, so I guess I could bump it up to a 0.25 maybe. I do like the beat. The beat do go hard.
I'm very excited about this next song though, and that would be the song titled "Love Hate Letter to Alcohol." This is a very good song. Do you want me to talk about it or?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
So I saw the song when he did it on SNL Live, and I was pretty amazed then, though I couldn't really hear the words he was saying on my TV. It was, live performances, especially on TV, are just kind of hard sometimes. I couldn't wait to hear the studio version though. I was very excited to finally get this track in its fullness. And I have a lot to say about this track. I'll start with the instrumental though. The track opens up with this like angelic harmonizing by the indie folk band, the Fleet Foxes. But I think the lead singer was the only person who was there. His name is Robin, and I think he just harmonized his vocals layered it over and over again. I don't care. It sounds amazing to me. But like just with that opener, it's like I'm immediately drawn into the song, and I'm ready. And then, like before I go on to what I was gonna say, but like the vocal layering and the harmonizing, it's all like very emotional. It's sad and it's kind of haunting.
Agreed.
And yeah, so you just get drawn in.
It's funny that you say that because I'm literally reading my notes right here, and it says post vocals sound kind of haunting to me on this one. Like it just does. It fits it.
And then that opener with just the harmonizing, it really leads into a perfect introduction to the powerful song, and then the damn drums just smack you in the face, and like they almost sound like the war drums. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I think the song was produced brilliantly, and it was engineered very well. A bad mix would have ruined the song for me, straight up. In my opinion, I think this album was officially titled after the song was written. I could be wrong, but maybe this was the first song written. Maybe. I know. And just to kind of dial into the lyrics of the song, I know anyone who struggles with addiction will relate to this song, and he kind of illustrates this revolving cycle that addiction really is, and you're emotionally beaten down because you drink, but you drink because you're emotionally beaten down. And we become accustomed to vices and find any way to justify why we partake in them. And it's a terrible trap to be stuck in. And the lines, "You're the reason I got my ass kicked, but you're the only one to drown my sadness." But you're the only way to drown my sadness. Those lines, I mean, they explain it, in my opinion, what I just said. And, I really appreciate this song a lot because it tackles that. And I'm not sure if the fight illustrated in the song is about a real physical fight, or if this fight is an emotional battle with his abusive drinking. I don't know. But the "I took a shot, then another shot," that whole segment, it could signify a correlation between getting punched and taking an actual 1 ounce shot of alcohol. It's really beautifully written, in my opinion. And I also noticed he ended verse 1 with "day" and then second verse with "night," kind of showing he partakes in this drinking or this vice day and night. Also, fun fact, but excessive drinking can lead to tooth decay because alcohol actually dehydrates the saliva that's used to wash away bacteria. So maybe that's the reason he lost his teeth. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, I'm reaching and looking too hard for deeper meaning here. But either way, this is my favorite song on the album. Hands down. Score is a 1. I would give it a 2 if I could.
Fair enough. Well, listen, Corb. I also really like this song on this album.
I was gonna fight you if you didn't.
My one gripe with this is it's like a 3-minute long song, and it took like 49 seconds for lyrics to even start. So my main problem with this song is I just wanted some more of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like you already said, the drums were killer and it was solid. Everything was it just led up, it just followed suit perfectly. I don't know Fleet Foxes. I don't know anything that they've done. This is the first time I've ever heard of them.
They're an indie.
I would check them out though.
They're a indie folk style band. I actually have checked them out. I think you would like it.
I bet. But yeah, I have the same thing here where he's just blaming Booze about getting his ass kicked, and then he's coming back because it just numbs him. So once again, we're talking about numbing it out, But the drums
numbing it out.
Everything were pretty solid in here. Once again, my only complaint was I just wanted more. I give this one a 1.
Yeah, I would. A part of me is I'm fine with how the song is, but a bridge would have been nice, I think. Could have been very sad. It could have been just, I don't know. But then, and that's the thing, what I kind of liked about it is how not on the nose he was about it. We're left here wondering, is he talking about an actual fight? Is he talking about, if this fight is his battle with alcohol addiction? He's fighting his inner demons. We don't know. And I feel like any more would have explained that away. But without it, it's left to our interpretation, our subjective mindfulness about the song. And that's kind of another reason why sometimes short songs are, good.
I agree.
But I definitely could have used another.
You could have used a little bit.
Could use
maybe
another,
just another
30, 40 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't have been mad about it.
But I mean, the build-up was great. But again, it took 49 seconds for the lyrics to kick in, and it's only a 3-minute long song, I believe. So, it's
I get
that
it.
that 1 minute is dedicated to the intro. So But that's like just personal gripe, you know? Like I always notice that in songs, regardless if it's a good song or not. It's just something I have to acknowledge for whatever reason.
You can go ahead and do Wasting Angels first.
Okay. Well, so the next one, Wasting Angels, featuring the Kid Leroy.
Yep, the Kid Leroy.
Okay. Once again, featured artist who, I have no idea who it is.
You have no idea who Kid LaCroix or Kid Leroy is?
No.
Oh man.
Are they a producer or?
No, he's a rapper. Well, I guess kind of like an auto crooner.
Okay. Well, no.
Auto tune crooner.
But I feel like this was a mood song. I feel like it hits different depending on what mood you are in, if that makes sense. So when I was listening to it, I personally like wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it. But if it came on in the rotation, it's not a song that I would skip. It kind of got like church choir vibes from it. It sounded very like preachy from that point, but I personally just don't think this is a song for me. I could see why people like it though, but like beat wise, lyric wise, nothing really like I guess stood out to me. So I gave this one a 0.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with all of that. So because I know who Kid Leroy is. I keep wanting to say Kid LaCroix.
You don't know who gets his name wrong is?
I've been kind of looking forward to a Kid Leroy and a Post Malone song because they share a lot of similarities as far as how they use their raspy vibrato. And I don't think this one disappointed. I love the synth piano in the intro. The slow build into the overall instrumental is appreciated, and it gives more brevity towards the words. It allows what's being said more room to breathe, I guess. Like the overall production isn't like heavy-handed, I guess. And the breakdown in the middle was used in a pretty unique way. That's what I think about the song is I think it's rather unique. I think Post kills his verse. The vocal effects are mixed really well with the instrumental, and I think the chorus is catchy and it's really fun to sing along with. The vocal stacking happening is subtle, but to me it sounds really good. Post verse was good, but I like how it ended the most. That when I'm drunk and on my knees, when I'm drunk and my knees can't pick me up, like that I don't know why, but that just sounds really good on my ears for how that part is mixed. Kid Leroy
sounds good on the ears.
Yeah, Kid Leroy did pretty good too. Now, once the first part of the song is over is when it gets interesting. Kid Leroy's chorus ends with just a taste of what's to come with harmonizing and vocal layering. And then the words, "If I never have, I should listen to you now," gets repeated over and over again. And I'm the first to complain about repetitive ass lyrics because I hate lazy writing. But if the attention gets diverted onto the mix and the ever-changing, angelic sounding, harmonizing vocal layers, then you'll maintain my attention. And I think that sounds utterly amazing. And I'm blown away by it every time I hear it. And I give the song a 1 easily.
Damn. Full ass 1, huh? Well, that's the best part about this. I mean, I told you right off rip. I said I don't think we're gonna agree on this like album, like at all, because I know you a big Posty fanboy. which is fine.
Yeah,
I like Post.
and
I do
I'm
like
just
Post.
happy for good mixes too.
Yeah, that's true. And you're gonna pick up more on that type of stuff than I am, just because I don't have that knowledgeable background like you do about it. So, uh, what was your thoughts on the next one, Euthanasia?
So Euthanasia, this is my second favorite song, and I'm gonna talk about kind of the musical aspect first, because it has a very limited, although powerful and moody instrumental. So we are kind of left to detangle the lyrics that we're given, and I like how the instrumental has a like a beep embedded into it, almost sounding like what you hear on like a heart monitor, but dropped an octave or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate Post truly saying things that might not hit people the same way as it did for him. Like in the leading line, I took a sip from my ash can. It didn't bother me too much. Like, this is a very telling line. You know, to take a sip from a beer can that you've been using as an ashtray and it doesn't even bother you. Like, that's really dark and kind of speaks volumes for his, for his mental state at the moment of writing this track. And I'll say this song left me bothered after listening to it, because in short, this song is Post Malone saying he wants to die to relieve himself of the unbearable weight of emptiness that he carries with him. And I have to just read these lyrics aloud because I feel like they were beautifully written. And this is the second verse. He says, "Behold a sober moment, too short and far between. I should crack one open to celebrate being clean. When I go out, ain't gonna hurt at all. An end to anger, euthanasia." I know this definitely takes a look back at the cycle that addiction can be, and when your vice is what you use to celebrate, to help you overcome sadness, even if it's artificially. And it really explains how empty you can feel when you overcome drinking by being sober, but the only way you know how to celebrate victories is by drinking, and you can't do that. It's sad.
It's like you can't celebrate your own victories.
Right. So you have, like, what do you do? That's all you knew. That's all you know. And like I said, it's just really sad. And I love how he slightly changes the line before he says euthanasia every time. It kind of taking the folk style you hear sometimes where there's like no chorus, but a line gets repeated in different variations to end like segments of the song. So I appreciated that too, because I'm a folk music fan myself. But yeah, like I said, I think the song is pretty beautiful for how dark it is. I easily give the song a 1.
I mean, I should just have you go first from now on, because I feel like you covered pretty much everything I had to say about it. Ultimately, it was just a deep song. And it was, again, talking about him, being numb. But like when he goes out, like, like it's going to stop the it's going to stop the numbness, like when he goes out, when he dies. It's like all this is leading up to the end. I feel like it just, I mean, I don't know, it really did hit kind of hard. But again, I feel like it was too short. Like I feel like this was kind of just like I believe this is the shortest track besides for the last part that he had, the recording.
I think Waiting for a Miracle is shorter.
Was it? Well, I feel like this one was way too short for me. I felt like he had more of a story to tell. It kind of just like, you know, definitely did not transition well into the next song, uh, in my
I agree.
opinion. It was very powerful. It was a really good one, but I don't know. To me, it just felt uh, too short for my liking. So I gave it a 0.75. But if it was just a little bit longer, if I just got like one more part of the story, I feel like it could easily be a one.
I see what even if he didn't have any more words in the song, but like he really messed around with just like harmonizing and really kind of tapping into that back into that angelic, you know, vocal layering that we've been hearing already on the album just at the end of this. I think that would have sounded really cool and kind of built out the instrumental a little bit more. I think that would have made me liked it even more, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next song, When I'm Alone. As for the instrumental on this one, I think the backing track is pretty basic. The synths and the keypads are merely a landscape, but the driving part for me is the punchy drum beat that hits really nicely. And this song is basically Post coming to terms with cheating on his significant other and the guilt and regret that seeps from that. And it's kind of, you know, it's what we've heard before, you know.
Kind of like a lonely breakup song, kind of.
Yeah, but like he did the cheating, so it's like, I mean, you
Yeah.
make your bed, lie in it type deal. So,
Yeah.
but I thought the second verse, I, I liked the second verse quite a bit, especially the life is sour even when I'm in the limelight right now. You know, it's a clever little bar right there.
Yeah, but it kind of goes back to the Lemon Tree song.
Yeah, a little bit. He's got a lot of sourness on his mind.
Whiskey
But
sours, maybe.
I like the song. I really don't love it. I'll revisit it. I won't skip it if it comes on. But it's really not bad by any means. It's just kind of
Overdone.
yeah. I don't know. I guess I wanted more. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's not bad. I still enjoyed it. It's a 0.75 for me.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give my score right away. I also gave it a 0.75. I feel like this is like one of the most upbeat songs from the rest, even though it's about cheating or getting caught cheating. And the whole reason he got caught cheating was because he was drunk and he hooked up with this one girl and she left something in his car. And then his significant other found it. But I mean, like, he's the entire song is just him looking for like someone to blame for his loneliness, but it's him. You know what I mean? But like he's just kind of like blocking that out by drinking. So it kind of feels like a part two to the love slash hate song. Um, but like way more upbeat. You know, like way more upbeat. But I feel like it kind of goes like hand in hand with the love slash hate um letter to alcohol, because he's looking for somebody to blame, but like, you know, the only person to blame is him because he's the one who got intoxicated and chose to cheat. That was my main takeaway from that song, so I give it a 0.75 because I mean, come on now. Like, you chose at the end of the day, you chose it.
Yeah,
You can only blame alcohol so much.
a little hard to sympathize with stuff like that for me. But anyways, moving on to Waiting for a Miracle. I'd like to believe that this was the last song on the album. I know there's two more tracks after this, but I would have loved this as the closer.
Yes.
It's short as hell, and it features a pretty somber piano throughout it. Like these synth layers, they kind of come in near the end, but for the most part, it's basically Post's reverb soaked vocals. And I'm just happy that the lyrics stand out on this one. I really have to notate the line, everything done for the dead after they're dead is for the living. I feel like that's a really haunting line, and it kind of shows how little he cares about the nature of death, at least for him. And he'll be free, but everyone will remember him in their own way, for themselves only, almost making it seem kind of selfish.
Right.
Then there's a line where he says he's afraid to die while he's awake, so he closes his eyes and hopes for a miracle. And I really do think that there's deep lyrics on this one, and it would have been a pretty solid closer.
I agree.
But I liked it a lot. I give it a 1.
I agree full-heartedly with this being the last song on the album. I even wrote that down. I said, for me, this is the last song on the album.
We can pretend it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, the next 2 songs don't fit at all, in my opinion. Like, at all. For the rest of the album, no, not at all. I think he's got some very haunting vocals on this one again. It's very slow. It feels like this is like, this is a very emotional song, I feel. It's kind of like a mourning song. And I also quoted the same line that you did about the everything we do for the dead after they are dead is for the living. Yeah, it's very, very true. Very powerful lyrics, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know how he thought of that. I don't know if that's like a quote that he pulled from or something, but I don't know. It almost seems that way, but...
It was very creatively crafted, I would say. But the ending, to me, shows that he's going to go back to the whole cycle, which if you ask me, if you were to have ended this album with this song, I feel like you could literally put the album on rotation and like start from like the very beginning, and it would all tie like right back into it, because like he literally is like, he's like ends the song by saying like he's going to stay fucked up. It's literally how he ends the song. It's like he's choosing to go back to it because
fuck it, let's get fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, well, like we all are going to die eventually, and it kind of just, he's like, I might as well just stay at that level, because it's, he doesn't have to deal with everything, all the emotion and everything out in the world, because you don't have to if you have your vice going. So I feel,
why get better when the world is shit?
Right, exactly. So I mean, to me, it was a very haunting song. Probably one of my favorites on the album.
It is one of mine.
But I gave this one a 0.75. Just again, I felt like it was really short, man. I just felt like, to me, with this being like, in my opinion, the ending of the album, I felt like it was a good tie off, but like it just kind of like was like, well, fuck it. Life sucks, so maybe we should just stay high, so that's the reason I give it a 0.75. I'm sure if I like listen to it more frequently, it will probably eventually come up to a 1, but as of right now, it's a 0.75.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention about the song, I'm not gonna consider this a detriment towards the score, though I do believe this is one of my favorite songs on the album. But the diction on this one is lost in so many areas, and it's quite hard to hear exactly what he's saying in certain parts of this song. And it sucks because this feels like a very important song,
I think it fits though. I feel like this is one of the most emotional songs on the album.
Yeah, I was gonna
say, like it kind of just fits.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say I forgive it though because of the emotion.
Well, almost, if you will, if you were like to go up and speak at a funeral, you know how like sometimes your diction gets lost because like,
right, yeah, exactly.
You just hit with that emotion. I feel like that's what played a big part in that. But no, I do agree with you. A lot of it is kind of like hard to understand sometimes, and maybe not for us because we've listened to it numerous times. But like if you're listening to this like first time and you heard it, you might have some difficulties understanding exactly what he's saying on the first go. But I also like to like pull up the lyrics on Spotify and just go along with it, especially if it's a song I really, really enjoy, which was that song. But again, 0.75, not too bad. And then
All right.
the next song, I don't even think should have been on this album, period.
Yeah, one right now is, in my opinion, I think the label forced Post to put this track on the album. It to me, it doesn't fit whatsoever. It
No.
would have made more sense by the Doja Cat song, but
Yeah.
I still don't think it would have fit anywhere. Like, I just don't. I think the song is so overplayed, and I was disappointed to see that it took up a place on this album. And we know why. I mean, controversially, I think we know why it's on the album. It kind of boosts the streams by a lot the second this album was released. So
Oh yeah, you put the one single on that's a hot hit. And
yeah, that already had
skyrockets the rest
millions
of the album.
of streams. But yeah, it's an okay song. I don't hate it. It's pretty fucking cookie cutter and basic though, and I think The Weeknd and Post should do another song together though, because they sound great together, and The Weeknd is like known for making sad music, so I don't like, I feel like they could have came together and really did something
super
crazy.
upbeat.
So I think it was and the thing is, it's a fun song. I don't know.
I have 2 ratings for this, Corb.
I give it a 0.5.
I gave it a 0.5 for being on this album, but by itself, if you were to just leave it by itself, it's a 1. It's a bop.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. I mean, by itself, yeah, 1 for sure. But the fact that you threw it on this album, and you already know it probably was like, the label or whatever that like, you know, had to include this one, but like it does not fit the rest of this album at all. Like the rest of this album is very, even that little extra recording that we get at the end fits the album more than this song. This song literally has nothing to do with the album. Doesn't feel like it was like part of it. Literally should be probably the last song, just so that you could cut it off with like all the songs that do go together that match the album, and then this be like the finale, so that you can be like, oh yeah, you know, like that was a song that came out that was, I guess, has to be on this album because it came out, but was not needed, did not fit the rest of it. Very good song, but for the rest of this album, I give it a 0.5 because it just had nothing to do with the rest of it, in my opinion, at all. It kind of took away from it to put it this far back on. Like maybe no, I don't think it should be on here, to be honest with you. I was a-okay with it remaining a single. I'm not going to talk about it because, I mean, if you haven't heard it by now, then I don't think you ever listen to music.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of hard to get around this one. It's in stores and stuff, so it's on the car radio. You know,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. I mean, good for them. You know, I love The Weeknd, I love Post, but did not fit this album, so I'm gonna stick with my 0.5 for this being on the album. But if it by itself, when it was just a single, it's a 1. It's a banger.
Yeah, and the thing that gives it away for me, as far as why I think it was a label placement, is literally the placement of the song. It's like so weird. It makes no sense there. And yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Moving on to the new recording that it's a demo, really, is what it is. And but yeah, with the last song, we get a demo to how Euthanasia could have sounded as a stripped back, folk influenced or styled song. And I find that this section of the song is very important to Post, so I understand why it's on the album as a demo. It doesn't sound bad. It's just too short to really dive real deep on, dive real deep in on. But
yeah,
I will say I think the placement of this being at the very beginning of the album, as like just literally call it intro.
That's funny how you say that.
And then it would go into Reputation, and I think that would have fit really well. But it didn't, so it's on the end here. It's cool. It's always cool to hear a demo of how maybe a song sounded in its very early stages, but
did you rate it though?
Yeah, I gave it a 0.5.
0.5. See, I really digged it. It gave me Wicked Game vibes from Stone Sour acoustic. The guitar was really good on it. I really liked it. The vocals sounded haunting again. But like you said, I just feel like it was thrown on. Maybe it was important to Post for it to be on here, but like it didn't need to be on this album at all. If you were going to do it, I like Corbin's idea about starting with like the intro or whatever, because I literally said that I would like it to be like an intro to Euthanasia. Like kind of like a skit type thing or something leading into Euthanasia. That's kind of what I was thinking with it. But I like what you said about like having it be the first one to kind of like set the tone, and then Reputation, because I feel like that would have been boom, boom, like really like it's not long at all. It's like super short. It's just a demo, So I feel like it was just a bonus, but it was a good bonus, and I gave it a 0.75.
Basically, my overall take on the album is I really liked how short and compact this album was. It feels more personal than it does commercial, and as always, I always look forward to more from Post. So my final score after adding everything up that I gave it was an 11.25 out of 14, which is roughly an 80%, so a B minus score if we want to got all up in it. But I think 11.25 out of 14 is pretty solid.
So my original score was a 9.75. That has now changed because when I originally did the math for this, I didn't realize I needed to come back and redo my math because I forgot that I changed one, and I had to include Insane to it. With including Insane would have brought it up to a 10 out of 14, which would have been 71%. But I also just remembered that I had originally given the Love/Hate song a 0.75, and then after my third listen, I bumped it up to a 1. So
yeah, you damn right you did.
So it would have been a 10.25 for me on this album. So 10.25 out of 14. That leaves you with a 73%. What is that? C?
That's like a C.
C plus.
Yeah, I think that's a C.
It's passing. I mean, it hit double digits because when I originally was doing the scoring with this, a 9.75. I think I'd rather have a 10.25 than a 9.75.
For sure. Yeah,
73 overall. It's not too bad. Not too bad for a 14-track album with, 40 minutes? 43 minutes? 49 minutes?
Yeah, it's really short. Yeah.
Hang on, I got my notes right here. Not too bad for a 14-track song that is only 43 minutes and 19 seconds long. Definitely an easy listen, in my opinion. I think it's something... it definitely has some replay value, especially if you're in your feels.
It deserves a solid recommendation. I think everyone who enjoys hip hop, who enjoys just good mixing, really, and a good this is like a pretty, I think this kind of borderlines a concept album.
I
but
think it is a concept album.
so I really do recommend it. I think it's a good listen.
There was a interview with Post where he said that like it tells a story and everything, and I think he very much accomplished telling a story. But I feel like the label kind of had like some songs thrown in there that didn't quite hit. Like I feel like putting the happier song where it is, I feel like with Doja Cat, I feel like that could just be taken out completely or just be a single and it would have been better. Um
It's like the label thinks he wouldn't have gotten millions of streams just off of his name alone. Like it's such a weird decision, but yeah.
yeah, and I don't know, just something about like I feel like Waiting for a Miracle was just the perfect way to like, end the album. And I feel like I kind of got robbed with that with the demo at the end and the
I
Weekend
agree.
song, even though it is a good song, but it kind of took away like from the rest of the album, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, so there's our thoughts on the new Post Malone album, 12 Carat Toothache. I think it's a really great project. I actually liked it more than I liked Hollywood's Bleeding. And I would definitely recommend this one.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, overall, it is a good album. Very deep in some parts, and some kind of got some good songs that you can just cruise to, if you will.
For sure. All right. Well, I think that concludes our review. I want to say thank you to whoever's listened to us ramble for however long this goes on for. Yeah, we'll try to make this a weekly thing.
We'll try our best.